Orogeny is the tectonic diastrophic horizontal tensional deformation like elongation and fracturing leading to different faults, rift, Horst, block, ramp etc., or compressional deformation like folding and faulting leading to different kinds of folds and warps, as well as structural bending shear stresses that crumbled a continental plate. Usually convergent subduction is being involved, through which less dense plate rides a relatively higher dense plate, whether continental versus continental plate or continental versus oceanic, depending upon plate margin. The arcuate morphology is conveyed by descending plate firmness, whereas island arcs denoted by Benioff zone volcanic convergence, evolutional classification being as fold, block, volcanic and relict or residual. Deposited snowflakes as granular snow transforming through the firn to glacial ice by freeze-thaw recrystallization compaction that if thickens to more than 50 meters of interlocking accumulation termed as glacier. Two types of high-altitudinal glacier: alpine glacier consisting of bowl-shaped cirque glacier, stream-eroded valley glacier, plain formed by multiple glacier merge Piedmont glacier and coastal calving tidewater glacier, progressively extensive continental glacier consisting of huge isostatical depressional Greenlandian and Antarctical ice sheets, dome-shaped ice caps and mega ice fields. Zone of accumulation is attitudinal, better upper half as deposition is more than recession, and zone of ablation is lower half where meltwater, moraine as output surpasses input as snowfall, ice drifts. The cumulative resulting accumulation and ablation consideration is the glacial budget. 2. Zone neutral gain-loss virtual balance is the line of equilibrium. Downward valley movement of glacier is termed as glacier advance, and lesser extent of glacier by ablation is glacier retreat. Stress exceeding the interlayer bonds making the stacked glacial ice slide is plastic flow. Another wholesome slippage through the ground glacial move is known as basal slip. Extreme rapid glacial advance is called surge. Glacier erosion through freeze-thaw loosening and lifting sediments into ice is called plucking, and sandpaper-like smoothing and polishing effect is called abrasion. Glacial striation formed by glacial scarping through the bedrock by embedded glacial rocks having linear elongated grooves and scratches demonstrate patterns of glacial flow. Paleoglaciology. A V-shaped stream valley broadens into the U-shaped cross-sectional profile known as U-shaped valley. Adjacent sharp-edged ridges between two U-shaped valleys is an aerate, and pyramidal-like peaks are horn.Low regions along aerates where two glacial trough intersection creates a gap or pass known as cols. At the prominence of a carved bowl-shaped feature called a cirque having major geometrical bounded walls but one open down valley portion, cirque basin filled with meltwater known as a tarn. Deeper areas formed through soft bedrock filled with recessional glacier meltwater is ribbon lake. Instead of valley broadening and deepening, glacial valley straightening modifies stream eroded interlocking spurs to triangular shaped cliffs known as truncated spurs. Main trunk glacier erodes deeper than smaller tributary glacier that after glacial recession appears as cliff face waterfall adjoining the U-shaped valleys called as a hanging valley, roche mountains indicating glacial flow direction. Our bedrock abrasional glacial drift through one side and bedrock steepening through plucking on the opposite other side. Terrain, glacial deposition features forms due to glacial retreat and laying the carried materials behind by melting glacier. Example grain size sediments of pebbles and boulders known as till. A glacier origin is being interpreted by compacted rock structure known as Tillites.Diamictite have more diversified clast sizes. Most usual material carried by glacier is moraine that is a ridge of till through erosional grinding effect. Conveyor belt-like procedure carries and deposits sediments following the equilibrium. Glacial status, recessional glacial rolling layer is ground moraine. Maximum extension of the glacier deposition is terminal moraine, also called an end moraine when ablation. Stabilization occurs in a glacial retreat. Glacial retreat pause deposition is recessional moraine, lateral moraine being located along the side of glacier. A medial moraine is joining of the lateral moraine through two tributary glacier combination. A glacial retreat leaves behind unmatched bedrock features of huge boulders known as erratics. A filled depression is a kettle. Meltwater channels through the crevasses deposit sinuous sedimentary ridges after the glacial retreats known as Eskers.Kames are mounds of sediments. Hill. A drumlin is a smooth elongated parallel hills of glacial deposits. Ice sheet associated features of outwash flat deposits is an outwash plain.